Okay, guys. That should be the bike guys, but nobody's following him. I think it is, especially given those speeds he's at, but I can't see any cops behind him. 10-4. Roger. Who told you that? Okay. What's your airspeed? I think this is it, but there's no cops behind him. We're hearing CHP pulled off because they couldn't catch him. Okay. Ten four. That's 105. Is that South 710? Stand by. That's 110, right? We are South 110 from the 105, heading into Gardena now. As gentle as you can on those moves. Brian. Otherwise he's going to get away from us. I know. But at those speeds, it's pretty rough. Guys, we're heading out of South LA now down toward Gardena. This is a guy on a motorcycle described only as a Yamaha, and that is one fast Yamaha. These things can reach record speeds. I ballparked this guy at times up to 120 miles per hour. We're having trouble keeping pace with him now in the helicopter. He's 110 southbound. He just came off of the 105 out of South LA, so in no time at all he'll be at the 91. If he continues past that, he'll work his way down toward Carson, the 405, and the South Bay. Now, we talked to the California Highway Patrol. They said they were chasing this guy at about 10:45 tonight. At one point they pulled off. They said they couldn't keep pace with the guy. He was going that fast. That's how dangerous this thing became. Initially they said they were chasing him for speed. They also say there's no plates, although I can't tell they can tell that because those plates on motorcycles are a fraction of the size they are in cars. And with the dark, the evening, very difficult to tell, to read the plates, but they're saying there's no plates on there, excessive speed, and once again, ballparking this guy at about 115, maybe 120 miles per hour from the fast lane to the right lanes, and that what we call the express lanes. Also, they're also called carpool lanes, and now he's going to be in the number 2 lane. Southbound on the 110 coming up on the 91. If he continues here, it'll be another 4 or 5 minutes. It'll be all the way down to the 405. I've been looking behind the guy. I opened up the camera just a few minutes ago before we went live. I was looking for any sign of California Highway Patrol officers behind the guy. I found nothing. This guy is solo. He may have known earlier that CHP officers were on him and very close to him, but last we could see they did pull off. They said they couldn't keep pace with the guy, and even if they could, it's just far too dangerous. Speeds like that, things can happen very rapidly on a motorcycle. He's going to go under an overpass. We're going to lose him for just a second here, and then once he gets out from under that elevated carpool lane, he should come back into our shot, so bear with us here for just a bit. These things are so fast. I'm a daily motorcycle rider myself. I would never take a bike that fast on a freeway, on surface streets, anywhere, but this guy, he is one careless dude going south on the 110. I can't see if that's the 405 up ahead. It might be, and then it's going to put him into Carson. So toss it back to you. We're going to try to regroup here in the helicopter, try to get our eyes back on that motorcycle. Once he went under that overpass, it was kind of hard to see him, and I think we've got him once again, and there he is right there. So last we saw, when we lost him under the express lanes, he was in the far left lane. Now he's pushing off into one of the far right lanes. And at those speeds, you could hit a speed bump, you could hit an oil slick, you could hit a bump in the road, or somebody could just accidentally cut out in front of you, and then that'll be over in no time at all. So he's going to continue here on the Harbor Freeway. I thought I saw what looked like the Coliseum, so I may have gotten turned around. He may have gone north on the 110. I'll get confirmation for you here in just a bit. That was northbound, so I did see the Coliseum there. So now, actually, from the 105, he went on the Harbor Freeway northbound. Thought he went south, but he's heading up toward the 4 level now in downtown L.A. We have come up from South Los Angeles, and in just a matter of a minute or two, he'll be up by the Santa Monica Freeway near Staples, LA Live, the Ritz-Carlton. After that, he could pick up the Santa Monica Freeway east or westbound, going east toward East LA or going west out toward the west side. We initially picked this guy up in the San Gabriel Valley. CHP officers indicating he was westbound on the 60 near the San Gabriel Boulevard off-ramp. So to put him in Montebello. We tracked that 60 westbound. He picked up the Long Beach Freeway, and pardon the shot there, this guy's going so fast it's almost impossible to track him now from the helicopter. We do have him there in either the carpool lane or the far left lane, and that's going to be the Santa Monica Freeway. So he's on the Harbor Freeway north. In no time at all, he worked his way out of South LA in about 4 or 5 minutes, and that is downtown. He just crossed under the Santa Monica Freeway, and now we'll see Staples here coming up on the right, LA Live as well. And then in just another about a mile, mile and a half, he'll be past Wilshire Boulevard and then right up to the 4 level in downtown LA. Then we'll see what he does. At these speeds in downtown LA, this is just treacherous. I wouldn't try that at any speed on that motorcycle, but this is a guy who is just bent on getting away from everybody. But once again, we opened up the shot just a couple of minutes ago. There were no CHP officers in trail. Now, the California Highway Patrol, they may have their helicopter out. LAPD officers, they may have their helicopter here in the air as well. So they'll be in what they call tracking mode. They'll follow this guy as far as they can and as much as they can. And when that motorcycle rider finally pulls over, stops, or it's possible, if it turns into a crash, then they'll find his exact location, and the helicopter can bring in the ground crews. So he's in between the buildings right now. Bear with us. We'll try to regroup and find that motorcycle for you in just a bit. I'm going to toss it back to you here for just a second and find that motorcycle once again. There we go. There's got to be somebody in law enforcement. Yeah, it could be a guy, it could be a girl, it could be anybody on that motorcycle, but I assume there's at least one and maybe additional helicopters in the area, LAPD or perhaps California Highway Patrol. They could have their helicopter up as well. That night sun you're looking at there, that's generally something used by law enforcement to keep a close track on that guy. So he's making some twists and turns here. It looks like we're off the freeway. So he went northbound on the 110, and then somewhere in downtown LA, he got off the freeway. He'll make a right turn here on Surface Streets. We'll call those for you as soon as we get them, but that's going to be Temple. Now, Temple is an east-west street that parallels the 101 in downtown L.A. He's going to go under that overpass again. This is real hard to track this guy. We're doing all we can to keep him. There he is once again. So even on surface streets, I'd ballpark him right now at about 55, 60 miles per hour. Looks like he's going to come up on a light here. He's going to slow it down, kind of take a look, see what's happening around town. And once again, most likely there is a police helicopter or a CHP helicopter in the area. They're tracking him, and they're talking to crews on the ground. And then once this guy finally does come to an end, or if he crashes or just stops, or maybe pulls into a shopping mall or a house or a friend's house, they'll be able to mobilize ground crews and catch up to this guy in no time at all. Off of Temple now, and this is just north of downtown. And at this point, it looks like he's making a bit of a circle under the freeway there, under some trees. We'll keep the shot wide, see if he comes out. And there he is once again. So, okay, that's going to be First Street, I believe, which is still here in downtown L.A. He's backed off his speeds just a bit. The only thing we know about that motorcycle is that it's a small Yamaha, but these motorcycles now, they're small, they're powerful, they're extremely fast, they're agile, they can stop on a dime with ABS brakes, disc brakes, just like most cars have, not the old clunky drum brakes. They're extremely powerful. So he's making some more runs through downtown L.A., and there he is, trying to thread that needle through the trees, through the buildings, and just below downtown L.A. Looks like he has gotten off of First Street, though. Coming up on a red light, and that's a good sign. He's actually coming to a stop, exercising some safety there. But on the freeway, if you missed it earlier, we were tracking this guy at what appeared to be 115, maybe 120 miles per hour. At one time in the helicopter, we were having trouble tracking this guy. But now on surface streets and off the freeway, he has slowed down just a bit. And looks like it's going to be, yeah, it might be Grand in downtown L.A. Yeah, taking off again under a... Yeah, he went under something, and now I've lost him between the buildings and under an overpass. So give me just a couple of minutes here. We'll try to regroup and find out where he comes out. But these things are so small. Looking through the buildings, and it's very difficult here in downtown LA. There's so many spaces, so many places he can go under and around. He's done a great job of eluding California Highway Patrol officers, maybe police officers, LAPD officers as well. And now I've lost him in the building. So we're going to keep the shot hot here. We're going to look around. We're going to, that might be him right there. Hold on 1 second, right in the middle of your screen. And there we go. So we're going to lose him behind that building again. There's so many buildings here in downtown LA and the areas around downtown. So we've got to weave the helicopter around it, try and get behind him, and try to maintain that picture once again. Very difficult here in downtown LA. So if you're just now joining us, this is a motorcycle pursuit which began about 10:40 in the San Gabriel Valley. CHP officers say they were chasing this guy on a Yamaha motorcycle for excessive speed. They said he didn't have any license plates either. And we'll try to see if we can get him on the other side of that building off to your left. Can't see where he came out. At one point, CHP officers called off the chase because they said the guy was going too fast. They couldn't keep pace. And we were losing him in between buildings, but we've caught up to him once again. This is almost impossible to follow this guy through the buildings, but there we go. He'll come through. That's right by the Eastern building. Yeah. Square me up on that street, please. Take it, Brian. Yeah, it's so easy to jump off those things, just lay them down, get up, walk away, or run away. But it wouldn't be too difficult for police officers to take a look at that bike, provided it's not stolen, and find out who the owner is, the registered owner is. But at this point, he's done a really good job of evading police officers. And we're going to keep that shot a little wide. And we've lost him near the Eastern building. But bear with us. We've done this a couple of times. He's gotten away from us, gets in between the buildings, under overpasses, under bridges, and he pops up again. So I'm going to toss it back to you guys, and we'll keep looking for him. Live from the helicopter, I'm Bill Thomas. Back to you. Brian, do you have the controls? Does anybody have this guy? Nobody. Okay. Sort of. Is there a police ship, Brian? That guy's not lit. Let's stop making circles. Set up. Get me on the north side of downtown. Let's look inside. Those circles aren't going to do anything.